Hey, thanks for clicking this video. Just a friendly reminder, this is a clip from my previous live stream. And if you want to catch me live in action so you can join the conversation, just remember I live stream Sunday through Friday. That's 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And I'm going to post the time right here because I know some people don't want to Google. So nevertheless, go ahead and enjoy this video. Oh man, guys, man, this is weird. And I want to say I'm at a loss for words. Not literally at a loss for words, because honestly, I can talk for days. Okay, if you are not new to my channel, you know I can talk. But I don't know how I am feeling about this situation here. If you clicked on the video, you know what I'm talking about. It feels like WWE or WWF. I think WWF came out before WWE. But when I was young and I remember the moment, I realized it was fake. You know, not the actual damage that they're doing in the ring. I know that stuff is real. But the drama, you know, the hate that they have for one another, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like, it felt real. It felt like they was going to go outside in the parking lot and maybe kill each other. As a kid, I thought that. I'm like, I hope they get home safe because the way that they're speaking, I don't know how they can go into the back room and be friends. But then as I got older and started to realize, like, oh, this is acting, which is, you know, not a bad thing. They're entertainers. That's what they're there to do, is to give us a storyline that we can all, you know, ride along with. But that should not be for politics. And for a little bit, a part of me, not gonna lie, feels like, is the joke on us? Is this all really WWF type thing? Like Donald Trump calling Zohran a communist and he should be deported. And we need to, you know, dry New Yorkers from their money because Zohran is a threat to America. And then we have Zohran saying, hey, Trump is a fascist and we will not cower down. Remember the famous line, Trump, if you're watching this, turn this all the way up, or something like that. I don't know. But it was epic. And people like me, we want a fighter, because I know the threat that Donald Trump is a real threat. That is not lying. Like, we see the actual consequences of having a Donald Trump second term. That is not fake. So why is Zohran being buddies with Trump? Now, I get it. I know, before you start typing away on the keyboard, I get it. Zohran is a politician. You need to be strategic in the way that you move. You can't be like me. And that's why I said I wouldn't make a good politician. Because if we not friends, if you my enemy, trust me, you're going to know that. You're not going to want me around you. I'm not going to shake your hand. I'm not going to say what's up to you. We're not going to take no pictures. I'm not going to go to your wedding. No, you are my enemy, and I'm going to treat you as such. But I can't expect that from my politicians. I get it. But if Trump is a threat, if he is a fascist, if he's trying to turn this democracy into a dictatorship or close to it, how do you shake the hand? How do you do that? I can't do it. But we already know, with Zohran and LC being questionable about them not supporting a Hakeem Jeffries primary, and then now this. I'm not saying he's a traitor. I'm not saying I'm turning my back on him. I'm not saying I'm not going to support him. I trust him. But I'm watching. Okay, so let's go ahead, get into this video. And this is a 38 something minute.
I think he wants to make it
30-minute interview. I was gonna cover the entire thing, but we'd be here for a long time. So I picked a few key moments throughout this thing right here, which had me questioning my entire perspective on politics, okay? So let's go to the start here. And just a heads up, this was the only video I found that had the entire conversation, but their audio dub is not synced correctly. So if you see their mouth talking, but the audio is different, I don't know what the hell NBC New York is doing, but just deal with it. You'll be all right.
President Trump, Mamdani says he asked for the meeting to discuss affordability with the president. That meeting started just around 3 o'clock and has just been open to the press. Let's listen in.
And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat him easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. That anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, that's good for New York, and we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year, so that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And
okay, hey, guys, I promise you, I was eating, okay? I think I was eating some sopita, okay? I was eating, watching this. And when I seen this right here, my mouth was open. Food almost rolled out of my mouth, okay? Sorry to give you that picture, but I'm flabbergasted. Okay, I don't think I ever used that word before, but I don't know how else to express this, okay? I don't know. Who is smoking the pipe right now? Is it Trump? Is it Zohran? Is it me? Did somebody put something in my food and now I'm just like imagining some things? Because Trump just said, hey, it's not about parties. It's not about affiliation. It's about making New York better. What did they do with Trump? Is this AI or something? If this is AI, this is one hell of an AI video. But I'm confused. I'm confused. What is Trump doing here? Because he wasn't like this a week ago. Not even a week ago. And now he's sounding like he's making sense. Let's hear what Zohran has to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president, I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for Mayor-elect.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question, and on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great.
Okay, Trump just rambles. I get it. Okay, stop. Okay. What did Zohran do to him? Like, he must be one hell of a guy. Like, he must have that, like, that Prince, you know, the singer Prince, you know, like, just that appeal, just that swagger, that man or woman, no matter who you are. And I never met Prince, but this is from what I heard. You are going to love Prince. Just his energy, his swag. You're going to be like, this guy right here. Does Zohran got that appeal? Did Trump and Zohran sit down and Zohran just like sweet talk him into essentially wanting to support democratic socialist ideas? Because like I said, not even a week ago, they were calling him Satan. Oh, Democrat. Oh, they didn't even call him a democratic socialist. They call him a communist. It's bad for the country, yada, yada, yada. And now he's like, hey, this is Bud right here. This is my broski. I'm surprised they didn't go like this, you know, like, hey, all right, let's continue.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people, he won't surprise them because they already like him.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who had betrayed the country. You said you would be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to...
So I don't know if you guys can hit a reporter, but this was, hey, you said Trump was a fascist. You said he was a threat to our democracy. What you got to say about that? Listen. Okay, listen.
Agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views. And what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
Hey. He's a great talker. He didn't avoid the question, but he avoided the question. He said, hey, we got difference in opinions, which being a fascist and not being a fascist is more than just, you know, having different agreements on X, Y, and Z. Like, that's a really big difference. But hey, that's why he's the politician and I'm not. But like I said, he must have, I don't know who is smoking, who is on that good stuff right now, because this is not what I don't think anyone expected something like this to happen. So let's go to our not next segment, but our next spot here that blew my mind. And once again, guys, go ahead, watch the entire conversation. We're not going to do it on live stream, but here's the next part right here.
But also one that every New Yorker can afford.
Mr. Mamdani,
Please, go ahead.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters just targeted a synagogue in New York. Are you concerned about Jewish New Yorkers feeling welcome and safe in the city? And President Trump, you threatened to cut off federal funding to New York City. What policies would prompt you to do that? Would that be city-run grocery stores? Would it be something else?
Well, I think if we didn't get along, whether it's cut off or just make it a little bit difficult or not give as much, we want to see, I use the term, we don't want good money going after bad. And we don't want that to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I did say, you know, subject to what policies are being said. We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with. Now, we may disagree how we get there, the rent coming down. I think one of the things I really gleaned very very much today. He'd like to see him come down, ideally by building a lot of additional housing.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate way. He agrees with that, and so do I. But if I read the newspapers and the stories, I don't hear that. But I heard him say it today, and I think that's a very positive step. No.
Okay, so once again, when it comes to Trump, he kind of rambles, and it's hard to really understand what he's trying to say. But he essentially said, hey, from what I've been hearing on the news, which is like, I don't know what news, just Fox News, I don't know. But he didn't know Zohran was about benefiting New Yorkers, getting everything that needs to be decreased and everything that needs to be increased. Wages, taxes on the rich, more housing. He's been saying that. But now he said, hey, now that we had a meeting, I'm all for it. And it's like, but you just attacked him. Your team has been attacking him because he's a democratic socialist. So now are you saying, I wish a reporter would be like, so you cool with democratic socialist policies? And I want to hear what Trump has to say. And I know Republicans are going to be mad as hell about this. I'm optimistic. Not saying that Trump is some sort of ally. Don't ever think that I'm thinking that. But if he can swoo or get Trump to play along for whatever reason, to get his agenda across the finish line, damn it, go for it. If we need to see more weird, awkward meetings like this so Zohran can deliver to the New Yorkers that they need on the things that they need, go for it. but I'm still at a loss for words.
No, I don't expect. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help, because I want New York City to be great. Look, I love New York City. It's where I come from. I spent a lot of years there. Now I'm right here. We took a big setback with the mayor that we had, Dave de Blasio. I thought it was a tremendous setback for the city. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Yeah, okay, how about you? Go ahead, please.
You're a billionaire. You have a different address nowadays than you used to, but you used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
Guys, okay, maybe I'm the only one tripping out about this. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But this is crazy. I don't know if you heard the reporter, but he said, hey, you're a billionaire. You have a lot of millionaire and billionaire friends. Would you feel safe or, secure living in New York City, knowing, and he's hinting about the high taxes or the 52% he wants to tax millionaires and billionaires. And Trump just said, yes, I would. My mind is blowing right now. My mind is melting. It's doing backflips as we're speaking right now. What happened to Trump? I'm just saying, Zohran must be an amazing talker. Okay, I'm gonna keep saying that. If you can get Trump to support you, you gotta be one hell of a guy. I'm just saying, if you ever have any legal issues or issues with anything, learn how to speak like this guy. You will talk your way out of anything. I'm just saying, that's crazy to me.
I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. He may have different views, but in many ways, we were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea.
Okay, then he's gonna, Bernie Sanders, blah, blah. Like, yes, Trump, we get it, whatever. I still, Trump is an idiot. He's forever going to be an idiot. But, oh my God. All right, let's go to our last point here. And, oh my God, man.
Does New York City love President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable, and I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in the most recent presidential election because of that focus on cost of living, and I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
I got a lot of votes. One more. Go ahead. One or two more. Go ahead. I tell you, the press has eaten this thing up. You know, I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries. Nobody cared. This meeting that you people have gone crazy. You know, outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting.
Now, I highlighted this part here because I think, and oddly enough, I watched, I forget his name. I wish I would have taken note of this, but the guy who did this entire, YouTube video on the life of Donald Trump. And I was listening to it today, and Trump, he loves to feed into the cameras, into the energy that is focused on him. That's who he is. He wants to be the center of anything, quote unquote, good. And it feels like, and I think this is maybe what is making him say this. I don't want to say turn, because he's definitely going to be the fascist we all hate and disdain. But he knows Zohran is popular. He knows Zohran is the face of the Democratic Party, whether liberals like it or not. And he wants to ride that wave. And what's the best way to do it? Hey, I'm here to support him. I'm here to support him. Okay, his ideas are my ideas. If New Yorkers love Zohran, New Yorkers love me. I mean, we have the same ideas, basically. You know, he talks about affordable housing. I talk about affordable housing. He talks about lowering gas prices. I talk about lower. Like, that's what he wants to be associated with. So, once again, I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. But knowing how Trump operates after watching him for 15 years, it is not too far, at least from what I believe. So let's hear what he has to say.
For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares, but they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I was going to ask you exactly that. Why do you think there's so much more, so much excitement around this than in some form?
Because I think he's different. All right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than, your typical guy runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and nothing exciting. Because he has a chance to really do something great for New York. New York is at a very critical point, and he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed, and we're going to be helping him. But he's different than, your average candidate. He came out of nowhere. I said he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. Would you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, who is this guy? He was at 1. Then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. Then he went up to 17. I said, let's get a little bit interesting, right?
Guys, he is glazing dude right now. I've never seen, this is damn near pornographic right here. This is damn near PG-13. I don't think he's ever glazed his own party members like this. He sounds like a proud dad. I never seen him talk about his kids like this. He's like, what do you know? He was polling at 1%, then 2. Nobody knew who he was, but I did. I know everyone. Nobody, then polling at 3. Then all of a sudden he's winning. He's looking up at him like, this is such a beautiful guy. So handsome. He looks like me, guys. He looks like me. It is so weird. Democrats don't even talk about him like this. This is crazy.
And then all of a sudden he wins a primary that nobody expected he was going to win. It's a great tribute. I mean, it's an amazing thing that he did.
And I'll just add one thing to what the president said. Is one thing I also appreciated is in our meeting to appreciate a portrait of FDR and the incredible work that was done with the New Deal, and also in thinking about what it can look like when the federal government and New York City government work together to deliver on affordability. It can be transformative.
You know, we have a great portrait of FDR that I found.
Okay.
Democrat. Do you mind if I have a picture taken by the cabinet room?
You said that you both spoke about crime.
Yeah.
There are many police officers set to come off the rolls at the end of this year in New York City. Are you going to allow...
Let me see. Let me get to the
100,000
part.
mental health calls a year. That one they're correct about.
The people retained, so that's a good...
Do you think you'll have more meetings like this?
There will be topics that we disagree on. I think we'll probably come to a conclusion, and ultimately he'll convince me, or I'll convince him. You know, it's for the good of New York. Ultimately, it's for the good of New York. I don't care about affiliations or parties or anything else. I want to see if this city could be unbelievable, if he could be a spectacular success, I'd be very happy.
He doesn't care about party. He doesn't care about affiliation as long as New York is taken care of. see, I don't know what to say.
You guys will meet more in the future too?
Sure.
Do you think you'll meet again in the future, throughout the administration?
I think we will. Yeah. I think we will. I hope we do. I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting. Please.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't. But she's out there campaigning, and
he said, "No, I don't." In any other scenario, Trump would have fed into it. I think he's a jihadist. I think he's Hamas. I mean, look at him. He hasn't condemned Hamas. He hates all Jewish people. I'm Jewish. He hates me. I'm Christian. He hates me. Like any other world, multiverse, he would have fed into that. But he said no. He said no. His base right now are going crazy because Trump is supporting not just a brown guy, not just a democratic socialist. He's Muslim too. What is the quickest way to get kicked out of the Republican Party? Support a brown Muslim who's a democratic socialist. You're being kicked out of the party quickly, okay?
well, personally,
All right.
actually,
Let's get into the best
went pretty. Bring it for him. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
Shoot.
I think it's been a lower telltale signs of problems. We had a mayor. He'll convince me, or I'll convince him. You know, it's for the good of New York. Ultimately, I want to see.
Do you
Okay.
think you guys will meet more in the future too?
Sure.
Do you think you'll meet again in the future, throughout the administration?
I think we will. Yeah. I think we will. I hope we do. I
dang,
enjoyed the
where
meeting.
is that
Went
part?
along, and
Okay, I can't find it, but I wanted to find a part where he said, "Do you think Zohran is the face of the Democratic Party?" And he essentially said, "I think so. This is one hell of a guy." And of course, I'm paraphrasing. And then Zohran answered, of course, in a political way, I'm just worried about being mayor of New York, and that's it. But like, this is crazy. And like I said, I don't want to be too critical. I know not everyone's going to be perfect. I don't expect everyone to have that same F them forever type of energy. Maybe that's just for people like me to have. But I said this before. A politician needs to be able to be a politician for everybody. Republicans, Democrats, and anything in between. They can't be like me and say, hey, screw everybody else. I'm just about me and my people. They can't do that. That's why I wouldn't make a good politician. And if he needs, I expect him to have to deal with someone like a Donald Trump. It's like co-workers. You have to work with each other regardless if you like them or not. But, a big old but, we need to make sure, and I said this plenty of times before, we need to make sure that we are keeping him accountable. We need to make sure that we are keeping him on his word. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If it starts to look a little fishy and he starts doing some weird things that's like, hey, that's a weird thing you're doing, then we start to apply the pressure. And then it's not going to be no more, hey, we're just going to trust you. No, we're going to start asking questions. And I expect New Yorkers to hold him accountable by any means necessary, because he is representing the Progressive Party. He is representing democratic socialists out there. And we cannot be embarrassed by someone who is not going to go in there and give their all. That's simple.
Forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra.